All right, and we are live. Welcome in, YouTube replayers. Got a few of them, it seems like, which is nice to be hearing that we got some viewers, making some comments on some takes and stuff like that. Love to hear that. I know Hey Matt, Hey Dan was one of them, talking about.
We've actually getting some comments on our live stream replays.
He did comment on that, and then Joshy and Hawkeyes and some of the regular viewers that they've made some comments. I think to probably both of us the last few. So good to see that they're listening on their car ride or whatever it is. So they might be doing that right now actually as they're watching this. But so we have probably this should be a good one. We have Coda. I basically put in the description, center of controversy in your dynasty leagues, which is exactly what he is. Dan and I, basically to introduce anyone that doesn't know Coda, Dan and I actually made like a list of like top kind of league mates of who we would invite, and I think you were my 101 because I was like, there's nothing. You can't find a better manager than Coda to invite to a league because he trash talks, he's active, he'll trade whatever, and there's just it's just entertainment. There's no downside really, other than the fact that someone might block him for being too toxic kind of thing, which has just happened in a startup we just did. But anyways, welcome on Coda. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First appearance.
I did actually get unblocked.
You did, and then he was trying to trade with you, I believe.
Yeah.
So
even Coda and I, butted heads early on. I think it was last year in Walter White's lab. I joined during the startup as Blake's co-manager, and I can't even remember what started at Coda, but we started to have some words, and you called me a sidekick because I was just this co-manager that didn't have any money invested, and
yes, sir.
We were going at it a bit, and but I don't know, somewhere along the way, I can't remember exactly when it happened, but we became cool, and I think I just sort of had to. I think it took me a minute to just kind of understand you and your sense of humor and everything like that, and also just not to take anything you say too seriously.
I did. We did end up having to kick a guy from a league, Diggs, because I yapped him too much. I think you're in there too, Dan. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what?
remember that. I think that was in Walter White's lab, and
was it? Oh, it was.
Yeah. We don't have to mention any sleeper handles or anything. It actually is a cool guy, but
okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Sense of humor, so it wasn't meant to be, but it's all good. Really excited to have you on the stream here. Feels like this is overdue here. I know although viewers might know you from the Grease Bowl rookie drafts from just a few weeks ago, and then also last off season as well. So, good to have you on Dynasty GOATs here. And so, let's get to know you a little better. How long have you been playing fantasy football, and also specifically Dynasty?
2 years. 2 years.
For both?
2 years. Yeah, Diggs. He'd been trying to get me into the Dynasty League forever. I was like, I don't know. And this last year in the Grease Bowl rookie draft was, I think the first. It was the Grease Bowl rookie draft. And then it was the Walter White Lab draft. That was my first drafts.
Okay.
And I just joined about 100 different leagues afterwards, and now I think I'm in 10 leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think we're probably we're 6 together. I think you're probably my most overlap manager, because I got you to take over a couple orphans.
Yes.
This off season. And
I ended up taking up a couple orphans.
Yeah. And Coda, how do you know Blake? Is it just from playing Xbox, or do you guys actually know each other in real life, or what's the deal?
No, not really.
No, just playing Xbox. I think I don't know how long I've known him for now.
A long time actually, because it was connected to Seb. It was Madden 19. It was Madden 19. So that would be about 6 years.
Okay, so wait, Blake, are you saying that you knew Sebastian before Coda?
No, at the same time, technically. Okay. It's just a lot. It's just they were in there at the same time when I met them, But I didn't really know Seb like very well, anyways, until like basically recently.
And was that just like totally random? Like you're just playing like Xbox online with strangers and?
Sort of, but yes and no.
The funny
like
story is how we met.
that
was funny.
Yeah, I came in. So I was like, I was looking for something like in Madden. There was like a specific card. Like you had to like. You couldn't buy it. Like you needed to like go on the Scoop Post thing where you can like find people to play with and stuff like that. A lot of people go on there, and it's always just got these like characters on there and just these like really toxic people. And I just see this one person that's like, my dad's a famous actor, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like interested to see like who his like dad was. I was just like, I'm just gonna go in here and like chirp this guy because like he's just like advertising. He's got like, my dad's a famous actor, like join my party. It's just like so random. And so anyways,
that was Sebastian.
and that was Seb. So then, and oh yeah, like I can share screen share here. I guess. Oh yeah, his dad's the guy from like, he's like Hispanic #1 in like a lot of movies and Training Day.
And Walking Dead and the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah.
And
Hector.
I'm surprised he wasn't on Breaking Bad because as soon as I saw him, like that guy just looks like an extra on Breaking Bad. Like how was he not in an episode of Breaking Bad? But he's definitely a familiar face. So that was pretty cool.
So yeah. Anyways, but then they were they were cool, and I don't know. We just started playing Madden. I think we were playing like squads because you can kind of like play like 3 people at once. So then that's how I didn't really talk to them honestly like much probably after I had met them, maybe like a few times right away, and then kind of over a year then we started playing again and whatever. So like then but the more the times went on, the more that we've I don't know each other and played together and stuff like that. So known Coda a long time, but yeah, Seb didn't really know. I mean, I obviously played with him a couple times and stuff like that, but really didn't know him until like he showed up in Dynasty streets here.
Right. Okay, so you got Coda to Dynasty first, and then I guess Coda got Seb into Dynasty. So it's just like this, virus that is just spreading throughout. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, Coda, like, how have your rookie drafts been going so far? And are there any like players that you have a really high number of shares of, or any players that you have just like no shares of?
So the Greaseball rookie draft, probably made one mistake there. Probably should have traded that pick, the 104, and let Diggs come up and get
Travis Hunter.
Get Hunter. Yeah, but that is also the only league where running backs like are so needy. It's unbelievable.
Right.
But other than that, I think every other rookie draft I've had has pretty well. I think Tyler Warren is my most bought. Love Tyler Warren. Mm-hmm. Probably my favorite prospect of the draft. I think he was my 101. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Genty is the 101. I have a lot of Jaden Blue shares. I think I own 4 Jaden Blue and 4 Tyler Warrens.
Okay.
I have not bought any Travion Henderson.
Okay.
No Cameron Wards. No Hunters.
Boo.
No Genties. No Harveys.
Boo.
Interesting.
Yeah, all of Diggs'
He's going against the grain.
guys. Yeah, basically.
So, I mean, are you just like a little down on those players, like relative to the market, or is it just kind of like the way you're
don't have the picks
out, or have you been like trading back a lot?
You know, I think he actually traded back with me in our last rookie draft from 6 to 10. And instead of taking Warren basically at 6 or something, or like considering taking him at 6 or just like 7, whatever, he traded out and then took Warren at 7 because he had back-to-back picks, and then took Loveland at 10 and a 2 PPR tight end. So we actually just made a trade where he did just trade back out of the pick for Henderson.
I could have taken Henderson in 2 drafts, but the manager that wanted to come up and get Henderson, they just paid enough for me to move back and still have my guy.
Right.
I think I own 2 or 3 Matthew Golden shares. I think he's going to be pretty good. I own 1 Jaden Higgins and 1 Trey Harris.
those guys?
I think I own a Mason Taylor, I think I own all the tight ends, all the late tight ends except for Harold Fannin.
Okay.
Yeah, just got my first Harold Fannin actually.
And I don't own any Gradson, which is Dan's favorite player after seeing the live stream. Favorite player.
Yeah.
Don't own any of him.
Yeah, he's like my most owned. I mean, I don't know if you've seen him play, but he looks damn good out there. No film expert or anything, but yeah, he's just one of those guys you get in like the 4th, 5th round or for fab off of waivers. So that's my kind of value at tight end, because I just hate waiting for these like rookie tight ends to develop. Maybe I'll regret it. We'll see. I know this is a pretty good class, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, how did you get no Genty? I mean, I know we did a trade in Grease Bowl where I got the 101 from you and took Genty with it. So, like, are you just kind of more of like a trade back kind of guy and collect value, or?
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked Genty. It's just his price before the draft was so high that I wasn't going to buy. And then his price after the draft, when he got traded to the Raiders, or he got picked by the Raiders, it didn't change it at all. If anything, I think it went up. So at that point, I was just like, I'm just not going to take any Genties, even if I mean, there's no point for me to trade up past my roster for a running back.
Right. Yeah, and obviously, like, you got a really good package from the trade that we did, so definitely can't blame you there. But yeah, I got 2 shares of Genty. Might be trading for a 3rd right now, so we'll see about that. But I don't know.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've managed to like justify paying for it, but also like in another league, a point per carry league, I got him straight up for St. Brown. So I thought that made sense, like in that format. So, but yeah, I probably did overpay a little bit in Grease Bowl. But again, like you mentioned, like running backs are really hard to come by in that league. I don't know why. It's just like the way it's worked out. But if you look on waivers, there's just like nothing.
I'm pretty sure Raider Hero owns 6 running backs, and he actually starts 6 of them.
Yeah, there's a couple owners that have a ton of veteran running backs.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not that they wouldn't trade them. It's just that it just seems like it's been, maybe they're not really in a position to trade them because they're contending. And now we got all these rebuilders coming out, 2 or 3 of them going into contention mode, and really no one's going into rebuild mode. So I think that's just been the league dynamic, is that it'll probably give sooner than later. But
yeah, that's also why I had to overpay a little for Bucky Irving, also from Coda. So I guess, pretty much like my 2 starting running backs in Grease Bowl are thanks to trades with Coda. But yeah, definitely had to pay a little bit of a premium on each of those guys.
I mean, I could have had Genty and Bucky, but then again, I would have had no receivers. I mean, like, the trades from you basically fed my receiver core.
Right.
And
sure. Yeah, you got
starting the 2 rookies is interesting, but I think Hampton is going to be a lot better than what people think. I think he's more likely going to be towards Bijan's value at the end of the year, just because of the offense he's in. He's going to get fed 300 times. So
interesting. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if like Najee is just completely relegated to like a backup role, or if he like starts the season as like, basically in a committee, or if he's even getting like a few more carries than Hampton week 1. Like, I mean, there's a range of outcomes, but yeah, I think like sooner or later, like, that's going to be, Hampton's going to be the workhorse there, I have to imagine.
Let's talk for a second about Hampton, or the 102 here, because Hawkeye's welcome has also mentioned just now that in his opinion, Hampton is a clear 102 and is closer to Genty than he is Hunter, Tet, Ward, and so on. And then he also says he's Cooper's higher on Loveland than Warren, but his ceiling is higher with Warren just for opportunities. But Warren's ceiling is higher because he's got more opportunities. But anyways, so the 102 and Hampton, I think it's an interesting conversation because I've been watching too much like other content creators' opinions on this 102, but in all my leagues, and probably we're playing a lot of similar leagues, so probably for you guys as well, it seems like Hampton's the clear 102. Is that right?
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Unless basically we've picked Hunter at 2. I think that's like I think it's basically been Hampton every other time at 2. But my take here is I really like Hampton. However, I'm struggling to see how the Iron Man Najee Harris just gets out of the way to start the season, and I don't know. I really think that Hampton could be a true like disappointment as far as expectations, similar to like a Marv last year. You know, where he's going to retain value well, but you're really relying on this like injury that feels unlikely to happen for what we've seen from Najee, and Najee Harris could be really annoying. So that's why I'm leaning Hunter and even Tet basically ahead of Hampton. Like I really think those guys can just, I mean, basically pull a Malik Neighbors this year or something along those lines. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more in agreement on that. I mean, I guess part of it is that, like with Hampton, like I guess I have some bias in terms of, like when I watch him play, you know, he just like looks slow, even though I know he runs like a really fast 40. And I don't know, just watching him, he just doesn't like really excite me. But like at the same time, like I realize that there's probably just some like bias there on my part, just because he doesn't look like the prototypical running back that I tend to favor. So I still think Hampton is in all likelihood going to be a damn good running back and probably a awesome fantasy asset and producer. But yeah, when it kind of comes down to, I guess, splitting some hairs and making those decisions, I'm just going to tend to favor the guys that I just tend to believe in more and just tend to, you know, say like, wow, like when I watch them play, you know. Yeah. So I think that's just kind of like my philosophy and just kind of like my bias there. But yeah, I really don't have too much against Hampton, like other than that. But yeah, what are your feelings, Coda?
I think Hampton is to probably as close as you get to the best all around back. He catches the ball fairly well, if not better than who is the running back this year? Yeah, I think he catches the ball just as well as Genty, if not, I think better. There was a running back this year in this draft class. I forget who it is. The one that just caught the ball so much in college.
Marks. Scatterboom?
Yeah, Marks. Woody Marks.
Marks,
no, yeah, I think it's Woody Marks.
Yeah.
The one that just had it was USC's running back.
Yeah,
Marks.
Marks.
Had like a shitload of
Marks.
screen.
Yeah.
I think Hampton's hands ability is probably closer to his than it is anyone else's in this draft. I think Dan said he runs a little slow. I think Hampton runs similar to Le'Veon Bell a little bit, more patient, slows stuff down, and Greg Roman offense is run-heavy offense. We're going to do a lot of power runs, so he's going to be able to slow himself down through the tackles, and I think just you'll see a gap between him and Najee, and it'll be not because Najee's that like bowling ball, run you over, get out of my way, and he's slower, but I feel like his vision isn't as good as Hampton's. I feel like Hampton has some of the best vision you've seen in the draft.
Yeah, and he's certainly we know he's fast off testing, but I get what you see. Like, his lateral ability makes him really look not as fast as these other backs in there because he doesn't have the lateral ability like a Bijan Robinson. He's more of a downfield runner. By the way, shout out Molly, which is Trent's girlfriend. We'll have to have Trent on here, by the way, because he's been taking over a couple orphans and he's been absolutely cooking and got some rebuilds going. So. Similar to Dakota, Trent's like a newer Dynasty player. But yeah, shout out Molly.
So is Molly actually watching, or is it really just like Trent?
She's in the chat too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, and she's saying she's more of a Judkins girl herself. So, maybe Molly's gonna have to join a Dynasty league.
Yeah, I think Judkins is better than Trevion Henderson. I'll be honest.
Oh, Coda, like I've actually had that same opinion. I still think that I'd rather have Henderson considering like the landing spot. And I've mentioned this before. We talked a little bit about this on the last Dynasty and Beers, but I think Dylan Sampson is kind of an overlooked factor in how Judkins' rookie season could go. I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, they did spend the 4th round draft capital. And I feel like they wouldn't have taken another running back unless they felt like pretty strongly about Sampson. I mean, we've seen this before, like when the Ravens like drafted 2 tight ends and like the second one was like Mark Andrews and ends up being the better one. I'm not saying Sampson's going to be better than Judkins, but I just think that people might be overlooking that a bit. Have you considered that at all?
So here's my thing. Judkins and Henderson played in a backfield in Ohio State together. Judkins was the clear running back 1 before he transferred to Ohio State. He was hands down the best prospect. I mean, if he would have stayed at Ole Miss, I think he probably goes above Genty just because
he could have been literally the RB2 in this class if he stayed at Ole Miss. I agree with that.
Honestly.
Well, he would have had to have a nuts season.
Because like back then he was like talked about as kind of like that next like Bijan type of running back that was going to be like coming out. So yeah, I remember that.
And he's a guy as well who has, I think he has damn near every trait you want. Catches the ball. And he doesn't catch the ball a lot because it was more Henderson out of the backfield because he just, I mean, he's got better hands than Judkins, but Judkins can catch the ball pretty well. He's a downhill runner. He still has the elusive ability of like a Bijan, but not to Bijan's level. I think him and Hampton, I think are probably they're in the same tiers for running back as me. I honestly I don't know. I don't see Judkins getting replaced by Sampson. If anything, I feel like Sampson's going to take more of the third down carries away. Maybe like a third and short. But I think it'll be Judkins on the field 99% of the time.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, I kind of like Judkins better as a prospect, too. He just seems like more of that, like, prototypical workhorse, bell cow running back in the NFL. So I'm totally with you there. I just think with the landing spot, I might favor Henderson a little bit. And also it seems like, of course, that market value agrees with that. So just kind of playing the market. But, yeah, I mean, I don't, hate the idea of, like, trading back and, like, getting Judkins. But I do believe in the talent there.
Yeah.
I actually think the landing spot makes him better.
Okay.
As far as like this, as you're talking about as far as the landing spot, generally you want Browns running backs. Now this year, the quarterback situation's iffy, but maybe they finally lean back into that run because here's the thing: we do think about them as a pass-heavy team at this very moment, but that's before the Joe Flacco era. What is that? Like I guess 2 years ago, they have not been a pass-heavy team. They're always pounding the rock. So. I mean, they really could try to get back to that now that they don't have a quarterback. I can definitely see that.
Like when they had Nick Chubb and even like Kareem Hunt in there, and I mean they were more like a running team.
But Stefan, they've always been a running team. So now that they had Flacco and then Winston, so I mean it makes sense that they're slinging it right with those guys. But I mean those are the two backup quarterbacks that you would ever throw 50 passes with in the entire NFL.
I mean, if they have Flacco back now, so they could keep that going. I don't know. Like it'll be kind of interesting to see like which way they go with that with their offense. I mean, they could be trailing in games. I mean, I don't know. Like I can't speak like super well in terms of like how the Browns defense is expected to be this year, but I mean, more often than not, the Browns like aren't a very good team, so I could certainly envision them being like down in games.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe that creates PPR scamming because Flacco was actually feeding backs, and we've seen it with guys like K9. Judkins can certainly catch the ball. So there's certainly even in a bad situation, team wise, I still see the upside for Judkins, but it's been hard for me to kind of take him the way the drafts have been going. But I mean, he's a pretty dang good value right now. By the way, let's quickly talk about the wide receivers kind of going, after this Judkins. So that would specifically be Igbuka, Golden, Burden, which honestly, I've been calling it the Wild West. Like these players, the receivers, running backs, tight ends in this area have been just flip-flopping every draft. And there's just a lot of variance with where they go. So between those three guys, like what do you got? Who are you picking, Coda? Between those three guys, like what's your order of like Buka, Golden, and Burden?
Are we talking like long term or like?
Let's just say you're just in a rookie draft right now with a completely balanced team. You're on the clock. Let's just say you don't necessarily need like this guy to plug and play, but you're just picking who you think's the best. Like,
I think long term value, Ibuka and Burden probably have the best shot there. I think you'll see Burden. Probably be taking over for DJ Moore. It'll be like Rome and Burden. I think DJ Moore will get moved out after 1 to 2 years probably. Same thing with Ibuka. So I honestly think those two are your best choices there. For just probably having a long term like receiver one maybe type receiver.
Right. So, I mean, how are you playing that then? Are you just betting on the long term and like taking those guys, favoring them over Golden? Or are you thinking like, okay, maybe Golden produces more year one, so I'll draft him and then maybe I'll sell him for a Burden plus or a Buka plus when those guys disappoint? Like, well, what's your philosophy?
After seeing some of these drafts, I'm seeing Golden and Burden both be pushed like into the second round. So it seems like the market's high on Ibuka. So if I'm there at the end of the first, I would probably just take Ibuka and just play with the market. Mm-hmm. If Ibuka's gone, I think Golden is the next best option, just because they've said Jaden Reed is going to be the wide receiver 1, which if that's true, then you have the cornerback 2 or whoever playing on Golden, and I think he's got so much speed that he's going to be so much better. For underneath routes. So I think Golden is probably the safest pick there out of those three.
Yeah.
And then you could look to move him back.
To, like, producing year one, it seems like, right?
Yes,
yeah. You have to imagine, like, pretty much day one, like, he's going to be a starter and he's going to be in there on, like, 2 wide receiver sets.
Yeah.
I think that's also what could hurt him starting and, like, being in such a high dense offense with a bunch of receivers could also hurt him.
Okay.
If he goes out there and is wide receiver 1, I mean, Jordan Love just throws the ball. He throws the ball a decent bit. He tries to spread it out, but he also does push it down the field. So that I think you'll see Golden probably. I think you'll see him do pretty well year 1, unless it's bad quarterback play. I think. But other than that, I think Golden is probably my best pick there.
And what do you think, Dan? Between those three, what order are you taking those guys in?
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like the order in most rookie drafts is Ibuka, Golden, Burden. So I think that's roughly like how the market values them, even though like they're all like pretty similar. So yeah, like I'm probably like trading back there. Like, I mean, although, I mean, as a talent, I like Ibuka the best, so I don't mind just, like, taking Ibuka, especially if I, have Baker on that team and, I'm getting the stack there, and I'm, like, rebuilding and I really have, like, no expectations of contending. I'm fine just, like, betting on talent, taking Ibuka, betting on the long term, and just letting that play out. But if those, in a different situation, I could definitely see myself like trading back, let someone else make the choice for me, and I'm pretty much happy with any of those receivers that fall to me. So I'm probably, in most situations, I'm probably more inclined to do that. But yeah, I think that's roughly the order I would have them in. But yeah, I do agree with Coda that I think long term, Ibuka and Burden seem like maybe like at least slightly better bets than Golden, even though Golden could have that path year 1. So It is sort of an interesting discussion. You could kind of argue any of those guys.
Yeah, I actually think it's like it's because I just like hated Golden pre-draft. Didn't think I technically haven't drafted him, but I'm definitely open to drafting him if I own the pick to take him. Right. But I still lean in Ibuka after kind of taking a step back, and this is the reason why is like, number one, he was actually taken number 1 ahead of these other guys, which is a good sign. And Buccaneers didn't even need a receiver. But as far as scoring fantasy points, that's where I'm trying not to like lose sight of things. Is of those 3 guys, Ibuka is like exactly what you want in a receiver, a rookie receiver. Like basically is like a JSN clone at this point. Like as far as like a skill set, and even as the Ohio State guy. But I was confident pre-draft, Dan, to like just at his profile. Like I'm not saying he's gonna be Jefferson, but a lot of the concerns about Ibuka of like, oh, he only plays in the slot. Like, oh yeah, like, I don't think he can beat press and play on the outside and whatever. Like, it's all the same for Ibuka Ibuka. So, I'm saying they can move him outside. They can move him anywhere. I think he play flanker, whatever it is, wherever they need him to play. The issue is, like that sucks week 1 or year 1. However, Chris Godwin, I actually just heard Chris Godwin's going to be potentially slow to come back. Like he's behind schedule. I don't have the actual source on that, but I did hear that just like on a podcast, which I had never heard before, which is interesting. Mike Evans is potentially going to retire after a year. He only has 1 year left on his deal. Both those guys have been injury prone. So there is a path where just one guy goes down, and it's Igbuka season. He can step in like Jalen McMillan did last year. So I have to keep Igbuka because I just like him so much better than these other two. And then it would then go Golden Burden for me. They're both in crowded rooms, but Golden's got obviously the chance to make one play week one, and everyone loses their mind kind of thing. And I think his skill set really matches with Jordan Love pushing the ball downfield, and I think they're going to want to take shots. So I think we all pretty much agree though on these three guys.
And also, I do think it's significant that the Packers take a wide receiver in round one for like the first time in like decades or whatever. Yeah. So like I have to imagine that for them to finally do that, like they're planning on not only utilizing that player, but maybe even throwing the ball a bit more. Yeah. So maybe it's good news for Jaden Reed and just the rest of that passing offense in general. I'm certainly hoping. So I think that'll be interesting to see. And just kind of wrapping up the rookie discussion, is there anything else we want to cover? Like one interesting thing about, seeing like multiple rookie drafts with Coda is that I feel like Coda, like you're more willing to take some of these like wide receivers in like rounds like 3 and 4. So yeah, like do you have any like favorite like sleepers there and like what's kind of your philosophy as you get into those like later rounds of the rookie draft? Like are you just like taking best player available or because like some people just think like just take the running back because like when you get to like less talented players, like running backs can more easily just kind of get an injury ahead of them and like slip into an opportunity. But you seem to be more willing to take receivers there. So yeah, what's kind of your philosophy there and any like particular favorites there in terms of those like deep sleepers in the rookie draft?
Yeah, I think my 3rd and 4th round shots, I think a lot of them have been receivers. I think those running backs that were taken in the 3rd and 4th round of rookie drafts, obviously there's some of them that I think are pretty solid to be taken. But I think the shots on receiver are just better. Like Tesla and Pat Bryant are two people I think I own in a few leagues. Tesla I think is the best one to own just because of the draft capital they paid up to get him.
Oh yeah.
Pat Bryant I think is another one that I own in a couple leagues. He's literally going into a wide open receiver room. I mean, like you had Devon Vele. I'm sorry. What? Who are you? That's what I heard his name and I was like, wait, who the hell is this guy? I didn't know he was in the league. Cortland Sutton's getting old. They have Ingram again, 30 years old.
Yeah.
Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin and Bo Nix have a connection. I understand that. Troy Franklin, he didn't really produce year one. Marvin Mims, I think, is pretty solid prospect. But I think you'll see Pat Bryant take that 2 spot. So that's why I think he's my most picked guy later. Yeah. I think I'm all in on him, especially in the Sean Payton offense. I think Sean Payton said he was similar to Mike Thomas.
Right.
Which as soon as you click, give me all.
That's all you need to hear, huh?
Let me get Michael Thomas 2.0. Here we go.
Hey, I would love it. I think all of us are in on Pat Bryant, and I definitely like some Isaac Tesla as well. I think Blake's a little more hesitant just because there's not like the clear year one path for him unless like JMO gets traded, which doesn't seem imminent, doesn't seem likely anytime soon. But it sounds like I think all three of us like Pat Bryant. I mean, amazing opportunity there year one. I completely agree. And he got really good draft capital. I mean, what was it, like early 3rd round? I mean, you could almost, he almost got that round 2 draft capital. So
wasn't it pick like 70 that he got picked?
Something like that. It was 70.
Which is,
it was early 3rd round. I mean, like if he would have
very early,
earlier, he would have been at the end of the 2nd. So, imagine where you'd have to take Pat Bryant in rookie drafts if he went,
in the 2nd
in the NFL draft.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. Yeah, I was having a tough time picking him early because I just love every single running back basically late.
I know, I don't understand. That's crazy.
But now Pat Bryant, looking at him a little closer and just like, you don't really. I mean, necessarily, I don't care too much to draft receivers based off like immediate opportunity because you still have to be good. Like, we see so many receivers just walk an open opportunity, and I'm not sure that Pat Bryant's good. He was definitely on the radar prior to the draft as being kind of a sleeper, and even Tesla as well. But Tesla, I'll probably just look at him year 2 and reevaluate him. see where he's at. But yeah, Pat Bryant though. I mean, Bo Nix needs another receiver. He's just so cheap. Like it's just so easy to just click in whatever early fourth or late third and just make a bet. And a lot of the times we have multiple picks, so you just take that one receiver, and then there's so many other options at running back. There's just really, to me, it's just Pat Bryant late at receiver that has like any chance of doing something year one. So he's been an easy guy to click lately.
See, I think Tesla is. I think he's going to come in and be a clear number receiver 3, and I think it'll actually help the Lions' offense because he's just huge. He's absolutely huge. So he's going to take. I think he'll be more of a deep threat for the Lions, which will be boom bust. I think he's going to be a huge boom bust guy, big spike week guy, low. It'll be kind of like a Jaden Reed. I think. I know it's a bold prediction, but Jaden Reed up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I think you'll see it with Isaac Tesla being up, down, up, down, up, down, year one.
We need a bold prediction here. I'm willing to bet Tim Patrick outscores Tesla this year.
Oh, see, I don't know if I want to bet that much on Tesla because
yes. Well, then is he the wide receiver for them?
I think he'll outscore Tim Patrick pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you believe in Tesla, I mean, that shouldn't be too high of a bar to clear there.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, it might even be bolder on Blake's part to predict Tim Patrick to do that.
Hey, man,
but,
that's Fireball Jones, man.
Get out of the NFL, please.
That's his name's Fireball Jones. That's his real name or something like that. His birth name. I gotta bet on my man Fireball. But I think Tim Patrick's injury prone. Like he's like the most annoying receiver you could ever be. Like an Isaac Tesla. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, Coda. Tesla is just learning to play receiver. Right? I forget what his path was. Which is a good. I think that's a good thing, potentially for Tesla, as far as he could develop into a receiver. Year one, it's hard for me to imagine. That's all.
I think you'll see him have like a JMO type game within the first 6 weeks, where he just has 20 points. He'll have like 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and like 100 yards. For something stupid, and then people will just be all in on him. I think also the Tennessee receivers. Nobody wants the Tennessee receivers.
Oh, I do.
For some reason.
I do.
Sign me up, please.
Yeah.
Hello?
I love it. Preach.
That's right, yeah.
All of them. I'll take all of them. I haven't gotten any Alec Iomanor. He's the one guy I missed out on. I should have bid more, and no pun intended. But yeah, I do have a few. What's his name? Chimere DK, and I got a few Restrepo. So I'm with you all the way there.
Yeah. By the way, so you guys say something there, Coda?
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, Cooper was saying, hot take, he thinks there's going to be no bust in like the first round of running backs for rookie drafts this year. And then he also says Sean Payton will give Harvey and Bryant opportunity. And yeah, Nix will basically be firing to both of them this year. And I think there's a lot of room. And for Nix as a passer, had a good year one. So, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm buying the Nix thing. I think it's been kind of a good way to put like my confidence in clicking at Bryant at the moment. It's more a Bo Nix.
I think he's onto something there with the RJ Harvey thing. Because I didn't take any RJ Harvey, and it's not like I'm low on him or anything. It's just that, well, for one, a big pro to him is if Sean Payton takes a running back within the first 3 rounds, was Kamara a 3rd round or 4th round? I don't remember when Kamara was.
I think
3rd round.
Yeah.
Every time Sean Payton has drafted a running back in the top 3 rounds, he's stuck with that guy and just fed it. Like that's been his guy. Kamara was his guy forever when he was in New Orleans when they drafted him. I think he'll probably try to turn RJ Harvey into that, unless RJ Harvey is just like a complete and utter trash can, which I don't think he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. I have 2 shares of Harvey. I had 3. I traded 1 for Rashee Rice straight up. But yeah, I love Harvey. I really don't care like that much about his age. I know like it always seems to come up when Blake and I are arguing about him, but like just I'll take the production. Like I think he's going to be productive right away. So he's in a great situation. I could definitely see a scenario where we're looking back and asking like, yeah, why wasn't I taking like more Harvey, or why wasn't I taking him earlier in the draft, or like why did I take Caleb Johnson over him, or insert like random receiver or whatever. Whether it's like Golden or Ibuka or
Yeah.
Burden. Like, I mean, Harvey should easily outproduce all of them year one, and if that's the case, he's probably going to be worth more in Dynasty. But we don't have to go into that whole argument
Yeah.
again. We know Blake's position.
By the way, you won't believe this. I just, in a rookie draft today, took Harvey over Tet McMillan.
You told me about this. I thought that was wild.
It's in a best ball point per carry crazy league where receivers just like don't matter. I mean, they matter, but they don't matter. So I just took Harvey ahead of Tet at like pick 9 or something like that. So look, yeah, I mean, everything you said though, without going into it, I do agree. I agree with everything you said. I'm just saying like there are other options other than taking Harvey as far as like. But I do think he's a good pick. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good pick. I just haven't taken him because I don't like picking at 8 or 9 in this draft. Just in general. But I would like to get out of Harvey.
Quick point on the Titans receivers. I think one of the appealing things there is that you have 3 rookie Titans receivers and you have a rookie Cam Ward. So like, I think that's always interesting when they're like both rookies and like they can kind of bond and establish that connection and, have breakfast together like Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp or whatever. So, you don't hate to see that. And also, like, all 3 of those guys are kind of interesting prospects. So I like the call on the Titans receivers. Do we want to jump ahead to the next segment here? I was kind of thinking maybe we skip ahead from what we planned and maybe we break things up and have our live draft that we talked about. Would you guys be up for that right now?
Let's do it.
I think Cam Ward will select one of the rookie receivers. He'll just start going to one, and you'll see a big, like I think you'll see one of the receivers just get picked so much with his volume. So that'll be interesting to see who he picks with. It'll just be a guy who he feels comfortable with, and it probably is Respro because he's played with him before. But
yeah,
that is interesting. All of them being rookies, so you'll see one of them develop really well with the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, like, the one that he would probably have the best connection with, Restrepo, doesn't even get drafted. He gets signed as an undrafted free agent, so he's got that working against him. And then he could be fighting against Io Manor for, like, that slot position. So that's, like, the one thing that could keep Restrepo off the field. But yeah, I mean, if Cam Ward likes him and then they had that connection, like, who knows what could happen. And I know Io Manor had some health issues. I believe that's why he fell in the draft to the 4th round where he was expected to be like a 2nd or 3rd round guy. So yeah, I do think that would be interesting. And then DK is kind of like the wild card there. So yeah, I think you make a good case for owning any or all of those guys.
Oh yeah, no, I think those are the best. I think those are easily the best underrated buys that you can buy in the rookie draft.
Yeah.
One of them is going to have a takeoff career. I don't know who, but it's going to be one of them.
And also, on most rookie drafts, like 2 of those guys aren't even getting drafted in the rookie draft. You just get them for fab after.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just great value. So yeah, I think that's a great call there.
So let's hop into this draft. So anyone watching, so this is what we're doing here. We're drafting the most unmovable players there are. Is there a way to invite you guys actually just to this so you can make the thing? And Cooper says he wants to join in. So, I mean, honestly, we could try to just get Cooper in here too. And how do I invite someone to this? Let me just go on my phone and see if there's a way to do so real quick. But yeah, we're the most unmovable players. So,
you can't get off your roster. You can't give these guys away, but they're like too good in most cases to just like drop. So you're kind of just like stuck with these guys, and you're always like adding them to trade offers, trying to get like some credit, but like no one wants them. So yeah, I mean, you know the guys we're talking about. So basically, yeah, we're having a live draft here of the worst of these guys. So yeah, the more unmovable they are, the better for the purposes of this draft. So yeah, I don't know how we want to. Decide the draft order. Should we give our guest the 101? What do you think, Coda? You want the 101 here?
It's probably going to be a disappointing 101.
Well, it better be.
Right,
it better be.
Would you rather go 3rd or 4th?
I'll go 3rd.
Okay.
I'll let you guys have the 101.
Ooh, Cooper's got a good candidate there. But see if you can join the link. Like I don't know if that's lets you join or not.
I think it's just letting me see it.
Oh man, it's like I can't invite you guys in here for some reason.
Oh really? Well,
we could just type it in the chat, maybe. Yeah.
I just say you could just have you put it in.
Yeah, I can put it in.
Put it in the chat.
Is there a way to add like Coop in here? Hawkeyes. Like, can you create a group chat real quick with Cooper in it, and then we'll do a 4-man. Or yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What league was this in, by the way? Just curious.
What's
or was
that?
this just a thing?
I just created this.
Okay.
Like a mock.
Yeah, I'll just let you make the pick.
Let's give Cooper 101 since he's already submitted it in the chat. And then Cooper, once you're added this group chat, check your sleeper. You can like message it in there. So 101. This is a great one for any Kyle Pitts owners. I mean, good luck moving Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was gonna be. I had made a list like before we came on live here, and he was definitely gonna be one of my top selections there.
Yeah, he is basically impossible to move anything, but there is a little bit like he's a little lethal in trades though, potentially in like packages, where like if he's just kind of thrown in there, and he's like the third player in the deal, someone can kind of be like, okay, like, all right, like I'm getting Kyle Pitts for free or whatever. Like, you can kind of like, I think there is a way to like add Kyle Pitts into a deal to make him look better. But if you're just trying to trade Kyle Pitts, like, good luck. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go up. This will be my. I'll go 102, and I'll explain maybe why I have this guy over another similar player, but
Hollywood Brown.
We are gonna go Hollywood Brown here. I guess I gotta click here at the 102 because I mean, like, what are you getting for Hollywood Brown? The last time, I mean, he was in like Arizona, like 3 years ago or something. Before he was like, last time he's productive.
Right. Pretty much.
It's just like I see him all the time in trade offers to me. I don't think I've ever seen him traded, and like he's. Like, well, yeah, even in like startups where like people are taking players that should never be picked like way too early, like Hollywood's still slipping through the cracks, being taken after like Tank Dell and stuff. Like, it's just insane. So like, good luck trying to move Hollywood around. He's got to be my 10. He's my 101.
Yeah,
I think I got a trade offer for Hollywood. I had a Hollywood Brown share, and I got a fucking fifth round rookie draft startup. A fifth round rookie draft pick for him, and I was like, "Why am I taking this? Why would I ever take that?"
Like
I'm sorry.
Which one? Like the trade the fifth away?
Yeah, no, I would have gotten a fifth for Hollywood Brown.
Oh, okay. So you have Hollywood.
Yeah,
that would be tradable.
That's not as good as you'll get these days. I mean, like
at that price, I think I just hold him.
I don't know. I mean, like I wouldn't mind taking a fifth. I mean, was it a 12-team league or 10-team?
It's 12.
12 team?
12.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's borderline, but like, really, what's Hollywood Brown doing for you? You ever gonna start him? Like, just get him out for your roster, take the fifth, and at least you have like a liquid asset that at some point someone will want. You know, maybe at least on the clock or something.
I think it was the Blood, Sweat, and Beers league.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was that league. I think it was Dynasty. I think he offered me a fifth round rookie pick from Hollywood Brown.
So 5'11" or something.
I'll just keep it. I'll just keep my Hollywood Brown. I need him.
All right,
I think I may have thrown him into an offer just as like a smoke screen, but in any case, wait, isn't Coda up at the 103 or?
Whoever wants to.
Yeah, you want to take this Coda or should I go?
Yeah, I got you with one, Diggs. I think Javonte Williams here at 3.
Okay.
Dallas' running back.
That's his running. Although he is like kind of tradable now because he's set to be the what's it called, the RB1, but still you're not getting what you want for him now. Is that a key? Even after
RB1 for anything.
Yeah, you got to just like bet on him going into the season to like do something week 1. I've had people try to sell me Javonte, and I'm not biting.
Like, are you gonna buy Javonte for a 3.7?
I don't think I've seen him traded. Actually, that's interesting because there's just so many good running back options at 3.7 that surely, I don't know if I'm buying up at 3.7. It sounded like I might do it, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, and also with the Cowboys drafting Blue as well as even that Mafa in the 7th, and they even signed Miles Sanders in addition to Javante's. It's just something there. What?
Nothing. I just you can't really move him after the draft either. This is too many.
Yeah, I'm saying it's even worse now because the Cowboys draft 2 running backs. He's pretty tough to move. I mean, there aren't many teams where obviously like a rebuilder is not going to want Javonte Williams, and if you're a contender, like what are you going to do with Javonte Williams? You probably have 5 running backs better than him. So he's very hard to move.
Yeah.
I think if you have to start a Javonte Williams, I think you have an issue. You've got an issue.
You
somewhere.
might be close.
Yeah, you're definitely not a contender if he's anywhere near your starting lineup.
All right, Dan, what you got here at 104?
All right, I'm going to go with kind of a similar running back, and a guy who's been productive and been at least a solid fantasy asset, but these days he's probably the most common guy that you just see managers just trying to shoehorn into deals, just get any credit for him, and no one's really falling for it. Got to go with Najee Harris.
Okay. Interesting. So, I got Adam here.
He's the ultimate, let me just, put him into this deal. Give me something. You still got managers, begging to get a second for him and some, package deal. And, anytime in fact, I just got an offer like that today.
Yeah.
It was involving, can't remember, but it was a trade of bigger assets. Oh, yeah, it was Colossal Tighten Up in the break room. He was trying to kind of, just add Najee into the deal and get, basically a second and third for him, or at least just the second. And I was just we just got to remove him from this deal. And, consider it. So.
No, he's actually. Here's the thing: you had that window when he was on the Chargers, but you knew they were gonna draft someone probably. Right. But he has been in the last 3 years because I took him in a startup a 6th round or something. I thought it was a really good deal. It was just 1 year removed from the really good rookie year. I think it was going into his 3rd season.
Right.
And good luck. I've been trying to trade him for 2/3 and stuff because he just wasn't in my lineup ever. Or flex play. I could not get anything for him. I think Andrew literally was starting just the most junk. It was basically starting no one at running back. and I was okay, I'll take a 3rd this year and I'll take a 3rd next year at a contending team. He wouldn't even give me that for Najee Harris. It was just insane. You can't get anything for Najee until that Chargers thing, and then you probably can't get anything for him again now. So that's a really good one. Coop, what do we got here at what is this? I guess 2-1.
Yeah, let's take a look at our group chat here. Looks like
It's on Europe. Okay, yeah, here he comes. I have so many candidates all of a sudden, especially when I've been scrolling through here.
And also, Cooper says that he would take Jordan James 1-for-1 for Hollywood Brown easily.
Oh, easily.
Same here.
Yeah.
So that's why, because that's the thing. In the 5th round, you might be able to get a Jordan James, or at least maybe Torrey Horton or one of those Titans receivers, or so. I would take that over Hollywood Brown pretty easily.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, this is a good one. I had this guy on my list, but this is a good one here.
Oh, okay, this is a good one.
2-1. It's Amari Cooper. After that Bills run, dude, you're just he's his trade value's cooked. He's not even on a team. I think you can bounce back technically if he just signs with a team. We just don't know. He just was playing for the Bills, and we never really saw him get truly fall off before the Bills thing. So.
He's someone I wouldn't even I still got him rostered. I think on at least 2 or 3 teams, and I wouldn't even hate having him thrown into a deal if I had roster room for him. But you don't see him move too much, and I'm probably in the minority that's still willing to consider that maybe he's got something left in the tank.
Yeah, I'm willing to trade for him as long as it's I want to say a 4th, but there are really good 4th round picks. So I'm taking Jordan James over him all day. But okay, like if it's like a Taj Brooks type pick or Krosky Merritt, like I'll probably just take Cooper. Though, yeah, I like Taj Brooks a lot, but that's just to give a range in the rookie draft. I mean, that's like the late fourth.
Maybe a future fourth makes more sense.
Yeah.
Just kind of trade away small piece from the future and but yeah, hard to do it on the clock.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really good one. And then I guess I'm up here. Man, I got so many good ones, but like this guy is just like
a lot of good options left.
This guy is just like I think this guy's a true 101 for like unmovable potentially, but it's just like it's because of the injury that I didn't put him at 101 because it was just like Hollywood is like actually playing. But it's Tank Dell at the 2-2. Like, I mean, especially just like where he was valued like a year ago. If you own Tank Dell, like he's truly like just take the 5-12 for him kind of thing. Like, what is the path? Like, there's just no path for him now. It's just like what is he? He's like probably like 26 years old right now. I think he is
25.
like.
I think he turned 26 this year.
Yeah. So if he's not 26, he will be. Yeah. He's just like he's probably the true 101.
That one's just so sad too because he was so solid and then just he's got no knees.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like still getting surgery and stuff. Like it's just rip Tank Dell. That's okay. So
I think we're missing the actual 101 here.
Okay.
And I think it's Xavier Leggett.
Okay, yeah. This guy was on my list as well. This is your famous draft pick.
Yeah, I know Coda probably got at least like a couple of Leggett shares, so he speaks from experience on this one.
Yeah, dude.
I try to get seconds, late seconds, early thirds, late thirds. Yeah.
See here. Am I wrong about this? Like, this is the Xavier Leggett thing. It's like, okay, you could have traded him easily in season for like a second, or even like a second, like a fourth or something like that. But like you're just like, oh, I'm hanging on, like, you guys scored a couple touchdowns. Then in the offseason, you're like, like I could take a second for him, but you're like, nah, like I'm just gonna like wait it out. And then like as the offseason went on, you're trying to get that second, and it's like, no, like you can only get a third now. And then you're like, I'm not taking that. Now you're trying to get a third for him, and then like, no, he's worth a fourth, and you're not gonna sell him for fourth. Soon it's gonna be you're trying to get the fourth, and no, you can't get that. Like he was like the ultimate like sell, just get out on him kind of guy. And like luckily I don't own any of them, but Coda, I think you still got a share or maybe more.
I got two, maybe three. I mean,
hopefully not all drafted 2-1.
If they don't draft Tet,
it's looking better.
He's not on this list.
Yeah,
but
he's at least looking better. If you could easily get a third for him if they don't draft Tet.
I just gotta pray he's the greatest wide receiver 2 option to ever exist. Jalen Waddle-esque.
Coop has a good nickname for him, Xavier Forget.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that one. Dan, you're at the 204.
All right. Yeah, still some good options on the board here. I could go with one that's like pretty obvious. Yeah, I think I gotta go with the obvious choice here. It's gotta be Quentin Johnston.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was another guy.
That was my next pick.
Yeah, that's too good of a one. And here's the thing, he's actually like got his value up from that like week 18. I saw a stat. He scored 18% of his fantasy points in week 18. Like this past season.
He had that monster game out of nowhere. And yeah, we kind of got to run on receivers here. I think what especially the last three have in common with like Dell, Leggett, and Johnston, they're all like young receivers with like, pretty good draft capital, or we've seen like some flashes before or whatever. But like you were saying, Blake, so many of these managers are just clinging to like the old value or like the theoretical value, but it's like they're always going to be one step behind and always just wanting a little more than the market wants to pay. And so they're just never going to catch up with the market, and you just know these guys are going to die on their roster, and eventually they're just going to be cut where like they could have gotten something for them if they had just adjusted quicker. So I think that's a good lesson learned there.
No, exactly. And so Hawkeyes, you're back up, buddy. Let's see your...
I wouldn't actually mind owning Quentin Johnson in leagues just because he has like boom bust weeks. I'm just not like there's no way I'm giving a good price for Quentin Johnson.
Well, the problem now though is with them drafting Trey Harris, as well as they even got that Lambert in the 5th round. He looks pretty solid. They got around to Gatson at tight end. They took Hampton. Like, I mean, there's just so many weapons now. Of course, in addition to Ladd, like my boy there. So it's really tough to see Quentin Johnson even getting like starting snaps at this point, like let alone fantasy relevance.
If he was in on a trade for free, call me crazy, but I'm taking it. I'm not giving you.
I mean, I think before the Chargers drafted Trey Harris, I think you could make that argument, but I think that ship is just sailed now. Just my opinion.
We got the 301 submitted. Yeah, this guy, he follows the run of receivers, and you know what's funny? I'm like at price. I like Elijah Moore, basically the best since Amari Cooper, because he's worth nothing. He's literally worth absolutely zip. Like, I think I got him off a couple waiver wires. So like, I mean, he's like borderline, like not even like qualifying. But people were clinging on still until basically his last year. So
yeah,
we'll insert him.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm still like in on Elijah Moore. I mean, not really. Like, I mean, he should probably be on like most waiver wires. But like, if I'm desperate for some receiver help, and maybe I have Josh Allen, I'm just kind of looking for like a cheap stack. I could squint and talk myself into throwing him at the bottom of the roster and just praying. Like, I still think he's like a decent talent, but I can't fully explain like why it hasn't worked out better. But I mean, he had a few fantasy relevant games last year.
Yeah.
Of course, like
he gets so many targets.
Yeah, I think the Browns threw a lot though. He was sort of helped by that. And then, but like the moment you want to trust him, he'll just like do nothing. So he's frustrating. But
I picked him up this offseason, and like, I mean, I like the fit in the slot, but like obviously Shakir's there, so he's basically cooked. Yeah. But you never know. He's still young, but he's free. He's literally there's zero trade value. So, Okay, and here's the challenge. Let's try to basically go like a QJ / like Javonte / Najee Harris value player or higher, just so it's not like because we're just picking on all these like Tank Dell. But here's one that like I was a year ahead on this guy because I told my buddy to I dump him off for like a mid and like a late third, which he like turned into a couple of good players. Where is it here? How do you spell this guy's? Stevenson. Oh my goodness, it's not popping up here. Okay, I'll just.
RH, come on.
Isn't that's literally how you spell his name, isn't it?
Yeah, RHAM.
Yeah, it's not. It's like all the players aren't in that queue for some reason.
Okay.
Like you have to click this set team thing or whatever.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one.
Ramondre Stevenson, because it literally was. He got the contract last year. I remember advising my buddies like, oh man, he got a contract, this and that. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not buying it. Like, just dump him for like 2/3 in a deal, and he was even like week 1 or whatever. I think he might have had a good like week 1. He was like, oh man, like I don't know. I'm like, he's cooked. He's a guy who owns like funny enough, like basically all these guys I own 0 except for Pitts and like Cooper, unfortunately. But man, Stevenson was just. I don't like him at all. And now he's absolutely destroyed. But I mean, he was like, he had the most fumbles last year, I think, in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
He couldn't even beat out like Antonio Gibson. They were like kind of like splitting the backfield. I mean, this is like the true like Klingon of value. Like someone's probably trying to get a second for him if they own him. It's just,
I'm sure.
He should probably be more worth like a 4th. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, what contender or smart managers like trying to get Ramondre Stevenson unless just like completely just being given away or something like you need one on your roster.
Yeah. So who's Coda? You up next?
I am. See, there's a guy that I could say that's real risky. He's rostered a lot. He's started a lot, but it is so incredibly hard I have tried to trade this guy away for a year. Can't do it. Give me Jalen Waddle.
Well, okay.
Holy crap. Interesting. I like it.
Can't trade him, can't move him. I can at least. Maybe other people can.
Yeah.
It's like his value they took a sledgehammer and just smashed his legs into the ground, and now no one wants to buy it. Like, no thanks. No Waddle for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think early in the offseason, I think you would have had more luck, but it just seems as the offseasons went on more and more, even myself, like I've been just no interest in Jalen Waddle.
I don't want to pick him in startups either. Because I think he's going too high for me in startups. Like, I love Waddle, but his production this last few years has just been awful.
Yeah. He just never.
I think nobody wants to buy him.
Yeah, he just seems to disappoint every year, and there's always some kind of explanation or whatever, or injuries, or something about the offense. But like one way or another, he just like doesn't produce. And yeah, I mean, I still feel like there are like a few like stray believers out there, but it's getting
so hard
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one for like, especially like a more expensive player. Yeah. By the way, anyone that's watching like YouTube replay or the chat, if you got any that we haven't put, definitely comment like your guy that we're missing here.
Yeah.
I got such a good one, but
okay, wait. Yeah, I think it's my turn next. Okay. I think I got a pretty good one here.
We might have the same. I just got this weird feeling we might have the same one.
Yeah. We great minds think alike. But I believe I'm up.
Okay.
I am going with Mr. Rachaad White.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I did see him earlier, but that's not where I was gonna go. But he's a perfect candidate. I actually kind of forgot about him when I was thinking about what's his name there.
I mean, he's easy to forget. I mean, he feels like pretty much like irrelevant these days with the emergence of Bucky Irving. And I mean, Rachaad White had his day. I mean, he finishes like a top 5 or 10 running back that one year, a couple years ago. But yeah, he's just like, I mean, at best he's a handcuff, and frankly, I'm not even sure if he's that, because like from what I've been reading, and also just kind of like if you just like watch the players, and I feel like Sean Tucker could take that RB2 spot on the Bucs this year. I feel like he's probably the better talent, and just seems more explosive. I mean, sure, Rachaad White can still like catch the ball, but so can Bucky Irving. So, reports I'm hearing seem to be suggesting that it could be Sean Tucker as the RB2 this year. So yeah, if you can get anything for Rachaad White, cash out.
Yeah.
I am the Rachaad White believer. I love some Rachaad White. You just can't trade him for anything. You can't sell him. It's so hard, but
yeah, I mean, he's absolutely cooked.
The one thing you're clinging to is that you hope he's still the RB2 there, and if Bucky gets hurt, then you can maybe get a second for him or something like that if you're lucky, if he's steps in there and produces. But it just seems less and less likely as time goes on.
And then Cooper's submitted his was this the 301 here, I think. But this is one, again, we're all kind of on the same wavelength here for players. I was also thinking about this guy, but Christian Watson, I just got offered, by the way, him for the 408 while I was on the clock, and I just said, like, nah, I'm good. Like, at least my 408 can, like, bust this year or, like, do something, where it's like Christian Watson's just sitting on your IR. That's a great one.
I did take him in a startup, like in 22nd round or something like that. But I mean, and the only reason I even did that is because, like, I mean, obviously you're choosing between like slim pickings at that point, but I can stash him on an IR spot at least, and then like add someone else that like I probably like would have taken anyway there. So like that's like the one way you can kind of justify it. But here's the problem: as soon as like Christian Watson comes back healthy and he's no longer IR eligible, like, what am I going to do with him? Am I actually going to cut, like, a good player? So it's really probably pointless. I'll probably just cut him as soon as he gets healthy, or maybe I could trade him to someone by then. I guess that would be my one hope. But, yeah, he's definitely a roster clogger.
Yeah, exactly. I got an interesting one here, but this guy's never been traded in a fantasy league. Well, actually, I did see him once last offseason, and Dan, you're in that league. Actually, we're all in that league. But Patrick Mahomes is my 3-2 here, whatever. I mean, dude, he's impossible to trade. I don't even own him, but I know he's impossible to trade. No one ever trades him. You're clinging on to the one-on-one value. You're just like, you probably can't justify trading him for like Genty or something, but like, if you lived in a world where you had like Goff and like, I don't know, like insert any quarterback, like in Baker. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You had those two guys, like, and you have like, any team need, like, Mahomes, we know he can bounce back. But it's like, honestly, man, like I'm just going those two guys that we just listed or whatever. There's a bunch of good values at quarterback. Just sell Mahomes for like a Genty, and you might get Genty plus. I actually kind of doubt that low key, but yeah, it's just like no one with Mahomes can sell him. I can guarantee that. I've never seen any trades going on. he's just so replaceable for fantasy. Right in the last couple of years, at least. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I got interested in
yeah, I mean, it's crazy to have a guy, as talented and, as Patrick Mahomes on this list, but I think it fits the criteria. I mean, like, you just rarely ever see him traded.
Yeah.
And, yeah, no one wants to take on that artificial dynasty value. They don't want to pay for it. So, yeah, they just rather rock with Goff and Baker or whatever. So, yeah, he's a tough one. I mean, it might be getting to the point soon where I mean, if the market keeps adjusting, like maybe it becomes a buy. Like I think we might be getting close to that because he sells the upside, and I feel like the Chiefs could be trending toward being more of like a passing team, like airing it out. Like they really seem to be accumulating the weapons, but yeah, I think that is a good choice though.
Yeah, you're right. We could be getting to the point where he's like almost getting in the viable range, but I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah.
All right, Coda, you're up.
See, this one's hard. I mean, there's a couple guys I'm deciding between. I think the massage parlor demon though.
Oh yeah,
is gonna be my guy.
I saw him earlier too, and I was like, oh, that's such a good. But yeah,
are you, if you have him on your roster, are you just dumping him or are you just letting him sit there?
Yeah,
he's actually on waivers in one of my leagues. I mean, it's not like a real serious league. It's like a low buy-in and. Not super deep bench, but I mean he is IR eligible, so there's really not like too much excuse not to for someone to roster him on an IR spot. So
I mean that is the upside to him. Yeah. He's IR eligible.
Yeah.
You can cut him though. You'll probably instantly like cut him when he comes back, kind of thing. I don't even know if he plays another snap of like starting QB again. Like he'll just be cut by the Browns or something. But yeah, you can probably hang on to him in the IR. By the way. We do have a trade of Mahomes that Hawkeyes has submitted here, and basically traded Mahomes in a second for London, Jatavian Sanders, and a first, which is like, yeah, I mean that's like an A+ trade. You get the second into the first, and you get London. Like there's just so many quarterbacks you can pick from. I think that's like a great trade off that Hawkeyes just sent in there.
Yeah.
So, Dan, you are up. And then
I'm gonna go. I mean, this guy was a hot name like not too long ago, but good luck trying to get anything for him these days. I think I saw him moved in one league, but it was kind of a savvy trade made by Blake, where what Blake gave away is another guy that I could have put on this list. But I'm gonna go with Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, and we got the sucker right here who traded for him.
I am the guy. Listen, I think Tracy's gonna start off hot. Okay.
I
give up a 26 second basically for Tracy is not too bad.
Like I'll be on, like he's not completely cooked, but it's just like the Scatabo I thought was like worst case for like day 3 running back. Like he has the pass catching and stuff. So I mean Tracy he could. Defy the odds here, but I'm finding it really hard to like. You're just like maybe like a best ball, but like you're putting him. He just is like literally like Rashad White without draft capital is what it feels like right now, like current day Rashad White. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if he plays anything like Rashad White played this last year, I'll be fine with rostering. While running back like 20.
But like current day Rashad White though, maybe he's like mid season. He's like. Yeah. Yeah, that I mean Tracy's like I did trade him 3 times ago, but like after the draft, like I mean I don't know what it's like you're clinging on to this value. You're gotta trade him for like a late third. Like I don't know what you're getting for him.
Yeah, and the trade I was alluding to, I actually wasn't even thinking of the trade between the two of you guys. I was thinking of the one with Mad Chaos, I believe in no pun intended, where you got Brian Robinson back.
Wait,
that was a funny deal to hear.
Yeah, Blake, didn't you trade Tyrone Tracy for Brian Robinson?
Oh, yeah. I got just some random swap.
Yeah. No, I mean, Brian Robinson, I think, is another guy that could, be in this draft for sure. I mean, he's a starting running back, but he's hard to move. But I think the only reason you were able to get off Tracy is because you were willing to take on Brian Robinson. And I think that was a savvy deal. You got the lesser of 2 evils there. But, yeah, both guys are pretty hard to move.
I did actually just trade Brian Robinson in the league. And this is, I have just the most insane running back from him like I've ever built. I mean, like Judkins is like my RB like 4 or 5, and you can like start 5 running backs. And I traded it Robinson basically straight up for Samson because I had Judkins as well. So I was like, all right, I'll just take like the handcuff, and then I think I got like a 4th and 27 or something thrown in.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't need Brian Robinson, then just like keep on him now. But yeah, he's not a horrible guy. Just to like, if you need like a starting running back to like get you through the early part of the season, like if you get him for cheap, you could do worse.
Like I thought it was actually like kind of a bad trade, but I mean, just as far as like value, because Brian Robinson's probably gonna you could probably easily get a second for him like in the first month. But there was context. There was a manager right after who I've been in the league with him for 2 years, and he's never opened a message from me ever, or accepted or declined an offer. And Dylan Sampson was the top guy in ADP, so it's like, no, I'm not taking that risk. Like I'm going to go get my handcuff, and like if that one guy owns a player, I'm sure we all like know like some owner like that. But this guy is like, I was like joking about in the chat. Like I literally think he's like a robot or something. It's just like there's no manager there. He's just, yeah. So there's a B-Rob trade for you, but yeah, he's pretty hard to trade.
So what do you think? Should we each do like one more?
Let's do one more.
Like that, or where are we at here?
Yeah, let's do one more. Okay, so we have DeAndre Hopkins as Hawkeyes, and yeah, this is you can't get a 4th for him. I mean, he's on the Ravens. He's just cooked. I mean, if we did this like in season last year, it would have been Deontay after that Ravens trade. I mean, yeah. If you're a veteran receiver and you go to the Ravens, I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
You're untradeable.
Yeah, that is safe to say for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do got to think about this one for a second here. I'm starting to run out of...
It is getting a little harder, yeah.
Oh, I got a good one.
Okay. I have a couple here, but I'll go with this one because, like, it wasn't too long since he was, like, actually a... like pretty good fantasy receiver, like Michael Pittman, you cannot trade for like anything. But like the issue is like I still believe like he's a good receiver, and he was hurt all last year with that. You know, anyone that's had sciatic pain knows like there's no chance you're playing an entire season through that. So I mean I'm still holding a little bit of hope on him. I'll be honest, but
that was my pick.
Was it?
I think Michael Pittman is. Yeah, he's still good. It's just no one wants him.
Yeah. You just gotta hang on to him, like truly. And, like I'll go down the ship if need be.
Yeah, I actually just thought of another one still. So I got 2 guys I really gotta mention. So I might need an honorable mention with this. But let me know when I'm up or who's up next.
Coda's up. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the next one's gotta be Travis Etienne.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one.
That's a good one.
Because that was really similar to the Brian Robinson and Ramondre and stuff.
It's almost impossible. I had like one share that I inherited on an orphan, and I somehow managed to trade him just before the NFL draft because I was anticipating he'd probably get nuked, and I got Tajay Spears and like a 3rd and a 5th for him, and I took it and ran.
Yep. Well, here's my thing though. Are we taking a 3rd round rookie pick over Travis Etienne?
I'm willing to hang on to just because especially you can get Tootin, so it's like you can combine Tootin and ETN to own Jags valuable starting running back because I'm not gonna count Bigsby as far as pass catching goes. So at that point I'd probably just somehow take this bet on ETN, though. Yeah, it's I'm not feeling great about it. By the way, here's a funny mention. I traded right before the draft Tracy for ETN in a straight swap. So it's just funny that they're both on here, and I mentioned in the message I'm the land of misfit toys trade or whatever, let's just swap them in, let's just do the deal and get off our guy, and it works. Yeah. So who's your 2 guys here, Dan?
All right, I am gonna go with a guy who was quite hot last season. Was definitely a coveted asset. But he is the furthest thing from that now. Yeah. Jalen McMillan, come on down.
Oh, man, yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about him.
I've been trying to just like force him into deals with, like multi-asset deals on each side. Just kind of sneak him in there. Can I get a third for him, or can I combine him with something else and like get a second even? Can I, like I think I was sending out some offers of like Jalen McMillan, and I think I was even willing to throw in like Marshawn Lloyd, who I actually like, but like for the two of them, can I get a second, and then also maybe get someone off the bench, just like kind of kick back to me kind of thing. I've been trying to get creative, but I mean he almost like makes deals look worse at this point.
Yeah, dude, you know what's so funny? Like half of these players on one of my best team. Like, that's the funniest part. It's like one of my best teams. Like, half these players I either just owned or I still own, and I just traded away McMillan. And we just, like, honorable mention to Brian Robinson. This is also the league where I did the Tracy to ETN. I have Pittman. I even have Elijah Moore on this team. And I have Pitts on this team. But, like, you got to see this lineup. Because after saying all that, you would think, like, this team is just, like, trash. And, like, I don't even know if my lineup's, like, set. But I think, like, Judkins is on the bench. But it's, like, this insane team. And it's got, like, whatever, like, a bunch of depth. But it's just, like, it's got everyone on this, list here. Pittman. I mean, you could put, like, Tillman kind of in there. Pitts.
Tutu Atwell. That's another good one.
Tutu Atwell, yeah. I mean, he's just, Wright is, well, I don't know, coming back.
We
but
like Wright. Yeah, we can't put Wright
But
out
you can't trade him for anything, right now.
I still see, like, people valuing Wright, and, like, I mean, I was trying to get him off of someone in one of my leagues, like, just, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, nah, he's a hold for me. Like, he's going to go up in value. So it's like, I can't argue.
And by the way, I own Hopkins on this team, unless I cut him. But I literally own Hopkins on this team, and I just own Jalen McMillan on this team, by the way, which is even funnier. Like, half these guys are on this team, and I just traded Jalen McMillan for Fannin, like the rookie pick for Fannin.
Oh, okay, nice.
So
I'll take Fannin at this point.
Yeah, so I was just, and I own a joke. But anyways, that's just so funny. This entire team is like, or this draft is somehow connected. But who was your other one?
Oh, so my honorable mention is Dalton Schultz.
Oh man, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
When do you ever see Dalton Schultz get moved?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think I was able to like throw him in some random deal for like one of my shares and get rid of him. I can't remember what I got. I mean, it obviously wasn't much, but like you just never see him moved. I mean, he's just like the most consistent player. He's just the most like boring player. He'll probably get replaced soon. I mean, hopefully, what's his name? Cade Stover. I'm hoping maybe he takes over this year finally. But yeah, Dalton Schultz is just like most like boring, like end of the roster player where it's just like, man, like how do I get rid of this guy and just like clear out their space, Yeah,
literally just get rid of them. And by the way, I'm just filling out some like honorable mentions that maybe we were thinking about at some point.
Romeo Dobbs. That's a good one.
I think it's so hard to move off of or trade for because of the price. And I think you got to put Tua and you got to put James Cook in there.
Oh, come on, Tua and James Cook. I mean, I'll admit, no one really wants Tua, but like
no one wants them, but they're there and they're good. But it's like their price for the people who own them, they want like a mid-first for James Cook, and I'm like, I'm sorry, no, thank you. I'll pass. Give me Travion Henderson or Judkins.
Yeah.
And then Tua is just the injury concerns.
Yeah, I mean, I recently took James Cook in a startup with like a really low buy, and just as kind of because like that's like the only kind of league I would own him in, just kind of for fun. But yeah, I hear you on that. I mean, the James Cook owners like usually want like a pretty good bid for him. And Tua has always been like undervalued on the market, and no one really wants him. I mean, I should probably be buying some more Tua. I only have one share.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
But it's a perfect example. The one share I have of Tua I inherited when I took over the Grease Bowl team last year.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's still on my roster. I don't think I've ever received a trade offer for him. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, like, even if you do get a trade offer for him, it's a low ball offer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're never going to get anything good for him. So he's just like permanently stuck on my roster, which is fine because I like him and I think he's undervalued, underrated. But
yeah,
I think those two guys are just so hard to move or buy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I was filling out for anyone listening to audio, here's like some guys I was just
How does
rattling
Swift
off.
not make our,
Yeah.
That's a great one.
There's too many ones.
I think Swift is.
No, I think Swift
though.
is like actually a good buy, and I'm the biggest Swift hater right now because like I own him in a 14-team league, and no one wants him. So it's like, okay, if this is transferring to another league, like I'd easily take Swift for like a second plus right now if I needed a running back. Like especially if you have like no RB2.
No, yeah.
Like I mean, he could
He's
technically they
guaranteed
could
to
sign
start.
someone, but at the moment he is guaranteed to start unless they sign someone. But even if they sign Dobbins, like I'm really not too worried about J.K. Dobbins. Whatever. Like someone's gonna eat. It's not like Swift's gonna get 100% of the work anyways, but. I don't see like
Who's the Bears tight end? Like he should have.
Komet. Yeah, I just thinking about him earlier.
And Dalton Kincaid. How did Dalton Kincaid not make?
No, he is. He's on my honorable mention here.
Yeah,
but-
I was gonna say Kincaid as well. But we're also missing one Broncos running back.
Nope.
Where's that 20%?
Oh, Jaleel. Okay, yeah. But he was unmovable like even last year before even the season started. Like Dan and I tried to like slip him in deals, and it was like giving us like negative trade value by like having him in the deal. It was insane.
I know you guys were talking about him on the last stream where he's even if they have Bo Jackson, he's getting 20% of the carries.
Yeah, no, 20% of the snaps.
20% of the snaps.
Yeah, he'll only get like 3 touches, but he'll
just be out there breathing on the field. I'll list off honorable mentions for believers, not for believers, for audio listeners here.
Yeah.
We had Dalton Schultz, Dalton Kincaid, who I had to pay a plus on to get to Njoku. And funny enough, I used like a Wicks as a plus, who's also on this untradeable one. But I just thought it was like such a funny like trade where it's like technically Kincaid he should be like more valuable than Njoku, but like for me it wasn't even close. Like I'd pay like a second to do that swap for Njoku at a premium. Coleman, like I would move him for anything right now. Christian Kirk just got him like the 17th round of startup. Estime's worthless. Polk's worthless. The Dobbs and Wicks are worthless. Bateman is like,
I was gonna say Bateman, he's just like a roster. Like, you never start him, but you can't drop him. He's just like stuck on your bench.
AD Mitchell, like I mean, could hold a little bit of hope from him, but like Alec Pierce has basically made him worthless. Keenan Allen, we just bought him, Dan. Like he's free.
We're the only believers left.
Yeah, he's free. Rogers, who like just if he signs, he'll be movable.
Sign a damn team.
But he hasn't signed yet. And he's just so old or whatever. But Swift, Tua's like no one wants Tua, but at 6-point passing he's good. Shaheed, I have him in one league, like can't get anything for him. Komet, Coda knows you can't get anything for him. And then Jaleel's like the ultimate. You've never been able to get anything for him, but like 6 fab.
Yeah. I just have a few last honorable mentions real quick. I don't know if this guy's too close to the waiver wire, but I mean he's probably owned in like every league that I'm in. Michael Wilson, like who's giving anything for Michael Wilson? He's just like stuck on someone's bench. They never start him. This next guy, he's probably like maybe starting to get dropped, but he's still like on way too many rosters. Luke Musgrave. I mean just no one wants them. Backup tight end basically at this point. But yeah, he's just like a guy that's just like stuck on way too many rosters. You know, I guess you could say Jahan Dotson.
He's completely gone.
Too close to irrelevant. But in terms of more relevant guys, I would say like C.J. Stroud is tough to move.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta as well.
Yeah.
And one other guy I'll throw in, maybe I'm pushing this a little too far, but DK Metcalf. I feel like no one wants DK Metcalf. Get rid of him. He's trying to like cash out. No one wants him.
After the Pickens trade, though,
price is too high. Price is too high on him.
People want a first. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I think in the Grease Bowl, I don't remember who has DK Metcalf, but he wanted the same price for George Pickens as DK Metcalf. I'll just take George Pickens for that. I mean, like.
Yeah, dude, I got one. Wandale. No one wants Wandale Robinson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But that's a lot
I
of.
all the Wandale Robinsons. Give me that 130.
Oh yeah, I traded a Wandale Dakota. Why'd I throw him in on one deal? But yeah. Or no, I think it was the Bucky deal. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It was.
No, that's a great list. Oh yeah, I gotta throw AR on here just as far as like you gotta find a believer. You gotta find me.
Oh, I have one last one. I'll be interested to see if you guys disagree with this at all. Kyron Williams. I feel like no one wants Kyron
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah, I only own one, and I've never really shopped him, but I got the feeling like no one offers for Kyron Williams, like anything like that. Like I do think. Oh, I got an honorable mention right now too. James Cook. I did just trade him off in a league I inherited.
I said James Cook just earlier.
Did you? Oh, okay, I didn't hear you. But yeah, James Cook, because of the contract thing, and because like he was actually he scored 18 touchdowns, and he's like obviously he's not gonna score 18 touchdowns. That combination has like people literally not wanting to pay a first for him, and because of that, I actually bought a James Cook, like unknowingly that like he was just like no one wants him basically right now, so you have to hang on until the contract or whatever sorts itself out.
But yeah, you got a nice deal for him. You were trading out of like a mid first, and you basically got like James Cook and like what was it, like an early second.
It ended up being James Cook, Scatabo, and Woody Marks for.
Yeah.
So like I mean I like almost like low key regret just as far as like okay I could have got Cam Ward and just like stashed him as a third and then just like made a trade happen later because like I just have a lot of depth on that team.
Right.
But I love those like three players I got. Sorry, two of the three players in the Cook.
I think that was a nice return.
Yeah, I don't love Cook, but I like the other guys. So.
Yeah. Oh, and last one. I could say two here. Brandon Ayuk and Jerry Jeudy. They got to be on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are. Yeah, I did just trade an Ayuk somehow.
Oh wow.
Like
What'd you get?
It was the Henry and Ayuk one for Saquon basically. But not exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
It was insane. Yeah.
I'm totally willing to roster Ayuk if I can get him for a good price. It's just, are you getting him for less than a first? From a lot of people.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think I was actually like I can't remember if I sent it out or not, but like I think I sent it, but then I ended up pulling it. But like I have a team where I have Purdy, and I was sending out a trade where I was like trying to get off an old receiver. Like, I think I didn't really need, like, Chris Godwin on this team because I'm, like, really deep at receiver. So, like, rather than have Godwin age out on my bench, it's like, can I, like, turn him into Ayuk, maybe even get a plus thrown on top and get younger kind of thing and get the stack with Purdy. But, yeah, I mean, that's about the only, like, very specific scenario in which, like, I'm trying to get an Ayuk.
Yeah.
See, I drafted Ayuk in a recent league over the 202 because I had the Purdy stack.
Oh,
and that's tough too. I mean, like, would you rather have Ayuk or Burden? Or
I'd probably just rather have the pick and just even if I only
it's tough.
Burden,
Yeah.
I
Ayuk's getting to a point. I like potentially, and I really like Jennings, but potentially, like there might be a point in season 2 if he's just not playing, where like people are even forgetting about him more. Where like he could just end up being a buy. I'm a little worried about like the multiple ligament, injury. But if he's anything like he was, well, prior to 2024, because obviously he had that either unlucky or just like really bad start. But like, I mean, he's been like literally one of the best, receivers in the league basically prior to 2024. And I mean, you're getting him at like what wide receiver like 40 in Dynasty right now. So like, I just got the contract. So I mean, I'm willing to get in maybe at some point. But yeah, right now I'm just not touching him basically. But.
And then I think we can cap this off with 3 tight ends: Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, and Sam Laporta. Good luck moving those 3.
Yeah, hey,
just bought a Mark Andrews. Mark
Andrews actually just got.
He doesn't have value. Like, I mean, he's probably a buy at this point. But just like if you need to get off,
it's so hard.
Good luck.
Hey, he just got moved twice in break room in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one of those was a 3-way trade, which was crazy to see, but.
Yeah, and
it's so hard to
speaking of 3-way trade, we got Colossal Titan up in here, welcome. And he said, definitely didn't offer you, Dan, Najee for a second and a third. So that would be you're getting?
That's how I was interpreting it, because basically it was a, it was a Garrett Wilson deal, where I would be like up tiering from like Garrett Wilson to Puka.
Yeah.
And so like the way I was looking at the deal, there was like a first in the deal as well. So I was kind of looking at it as like Garrett Wilson and a first for Puka.
Yeah. And
then I interpreted the rest of the deal as like Najee for a second and third. But yeah, I'm sure Colossal wasn't parsing it out that way. I'm sure he probably was like maybe looking at like I don't know, maybe Najee for a second, and then maybe, I don't know, or maybe for a third, and maybe the second goes with the wide receiver tier up. So yeah, you could look at that different ways, but that's just kind of how I was looking at it. Just because, like, I don't know if I'd pay more than a first to go from Garrett Wilson to Puka.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, G. Willie, you could almost put him on here as like untradeable guy. Like he's tough to trade. Like
yeah, I mean, which is why he's like a good buy. I think he's gonna have a nice season. I had let's see, did I get up to 3 shares of him? I have 2 shares now. I'm trying to remember if I moved off of one. I may have had 3 at one point briefly, but yeah, I'm a believer though.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, unfortunately I've actually thrown him in a couple of trades because it's just been like he's been just like low hanging, like tier up, fruit, and then these and some offers, but I haven't even been successful to getting them, and I do want to hang on to him because I think Garrett Wilson's amazing, but yeah.
So what do you think about that tier up? Like, I mean, if you had the assets, like, would you pay a first to go up to Puka, or would you just chill Garrett Wilson there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, normally I wouldn't do it, but he's like, I mean, I'm really putting Puka in like, a really good, like, a lot of respect for Puka. So like,
oh yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to give up, that first. It depends what the first is, again, there's a lot of context on that, but I just think Garrett Wilson is so damn good, too. So, like, that's the kind of issue is, like, I mean, on a per-route basis, like, I'm sure Garrett Wilson is really not far behind Puka. It's just one's on the Rams, one's on the Jets, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, like, no target competition there in New York, and so, like, I could see those 2 receivers having, like, pretty similar seasons, and then it's just like, yeah, well, what did I pay a first for, So,
yeah.
It's kind of a tricky one. You also had Devontae Adams in there, but don't get me wrong. I mean, Puka's a stud. Would love to have him. So I don't know, but like, yeah, I'm just always more of like a tier down guy, and especially like in year 1 of a dynasty team, a dynasty league, I'm much more likely to tier down and build up that wealth of assets and value.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think Garrett Wilson is definitely a tier below Puka, but I think you'll see Puka really just solidify himself as like top 5 this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty damn good. Literally the only thing you can point to is how long staff are going to be there. It could be his last year, or maybe he just keeps hanging in there. But anyways, yeah, getting late here, so I say we wrap it up. But.
Yeah, Coda, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun, definitely long overdue, and we'll have to get you back on a stream sometime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And also a reminder, a little bit of a schedule change. We talked about it a little on Dynasty and Beers, but Dynasty and Beers is no longer going to be on Wednesdays for, I guess, kind of like the foreseeable future. Like, we might be able to put it back on Wednesday at some point, but because of Blake's soccer schedule, we're gonna have to find a different day. So we're still figuring out what day we're gonna move it to. Hopefully it's not something that like it's gonna be like different every single week, but I guess probably like Tuesday and Thursday would be like the most likely options. So if you have any opinion on that, let us know in the chat or put a comment there. Let us know what day you prefer for that. But yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll keep you guys posted. But Dynasty GOATs will still be every Sunday. That won't change. And yeah, this is the first Dynasty GOATs we've done in a while. So great to get back to that. Coda was a perfect guest to have on here. And yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for joining us again, Coda.